Right, so it's all set here. The second game of this LSPL 2026. The second game. The Blazing Champions taking on the ASHTON Lions. Obviously, ASHTON Lions had a good tournament so far. They won their first game. They came into this tournament as the runners-up of the previous edition. So they have all the confidence as well heading into this tournament, and they've proved themselves in that first game. But it's a whole new ball game for them against the Blazing Champions, who lost their first game. But the spirits are high, as I had a chat with the two captains as well. Yazir from the ASHTON Lions did mention that the mentality of the team is very high, and they're in a good, confident mindset. And for the Blazing Champions, the captain Richards Chesley also did mention that they will try to put a good score here, at least get close to 200 and give a good fight with the ball in hand. The conditions still favour the batters. We saw in the first game how the team batting second chased things down quite easily with number of overs to spare. So I'm sure both the teams have taken good notes of that first game before making all those decisions to bat first or to ball first. And Blazing Champions captain Richards Chesley did mention that he was anyway going to bat first, so it's a win-win situation. But so far, Darshan and Madhushanka have made the life pretty difficult for the batter JPV. Arshan Joseph to continue. A couple of runs in the first ball, and then Rajendran and JPV, the two opening batters, really need to make sure that they're getting the full use of this power play. And as I mentioned countless times, even in the previous weekend as well, getting to a score of around 40 to 45 runs without losing wicket in the first 5 would be ideal. And, you know, getting to 60 to 65 runs, losing couple of wickets. So that the team will have to keep that in mind as well. Nicely work towards the deep third for a single. That's a good shot there. That's the first boundary for the Blazing Champions in their second game. Harshan Joseph. Nothing really wrong with the delivery, it's just that the execution was perfect. JP Vidurshan. This time down the ground he goes, a flat battered slap, and it goes all the way for a maximum. Harshan Joseph, not much pace on offer, and that allows JP Vidurshan to play it across and to play it with a more of a lateral bat. There we go. Aye. Darshan Madhushankar to continue. He offers some good pace. Even in the first over, he was quite disciplined. 15 runs on the board in just 2.1 overs. Rajendran and JP Vidurshan, the two openers for the Blazing Champions, will have to find a solution. Now this time, that's a solution. Just slashing that bat across and getting a boundary just like that. Pace on offer. And you slash that and you slash that for a boundary. Right, so joining with me now is Ashan, who's one of the assistant coaches for the ASHTON Lions. Welcome to the Combox once again, Ashan.
Thank you so much, thank you.
Obviously coming into this match with a win under your belt, obviously you should be feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's always good to have a start to the tournament with a win, and I think the boys are feeling pretty good about themselves. Maybe we did get a few good practices as well this week, since there was no rain around the corner, so the guys feel a bit more polished compared to the last match, so hopefully it can be reflected today in the game.
It's always good to regroup and head into that next few games. Obviously after winning the first game, the confidence, the mentality of the team should be high as well, and at the same time having that extra week of practice would also help. A missed opportunity though in the first over, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, like, we can look at it both ways. I mean, like, it was a hard chance, and Nipun is a very good fielder. Tends to happen, early up you don't expect the ball, and then, the new ball tends to come a little faster than you expect. That's a good shot down the ground, and that should be another boundary. Well, Sri just has one way of looking at this. I think the first over he was kind of watchful, And this over, as you can see, he's clearing his front foot and just giving it all. Knows that the outfield is really fast, and just clearing the infield should be well enough, as you saw the previous delivery as well. As a bowler, you have very less amount for error, since this is a very good wicket, I would say. As you saw the first match, we had 440 plus runs scored, so...
Oh, that's a good shot. This time through the offside. There are two fielders coming in, but just falling touch too far away from them, and it's gone all the way for a boundary as well. This is good batting there from Rajendran. Once again, this time, touch too full outside the off stump there from Darshan Madhushankar.
Yeah, I think the previous over he was a little better. I think he was bowling that outside off-stump channel on the good length, and this over, as you saw, the 3 deliveries that went for a boundary, even the straight one, a touch full and just there under the bat. So I think he needs to try and just stick to the line and length that he was bowling the first over. Sri, as you know, Rajendran is an ex-ASHTON Lion player.
All right. You must be knowing all the tricks in your bag for sure. Unless you've come up with new ones for this season.
Well, there you go. Another one down leg side, and that should also run away to the boundary. Again, I think he overcompensated with the previous delivery being too much outside off stump. He tried to bowl a little too straight. And easy pickings for Sri.
Yeah, 3 overs done, 31 runs on the board without a loss. It's a good start for the Blazing Champions. The two openers doing exactly what's been asked from them. 20 for Rajendran and JP Vidrushan, 11 off 6. And Darshan Madhushankar, after bowling that first over well, as Ashan mentioned, been hammered all over in this second over by Rajendran, who moves into 20 of just 12 deliveries. A lot to think for the ASHTON Lions as well. But these conditions are very good for the batters. As you correctly mentioned in the first game, 400 plus runs being scored. And the team batting second absolutely nailed that run chase. And I think you all have surely taken notes from that match as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a team, when we did win the toss, we do expect somewhere close around about 200 mark. I mean, it's better if we can restrict them less than 200, but we are expecting somewhere around there. And I think the boys' mentality is somewhat, even 200 is chaseable, as we saw in the first game. Well, interesting name. If you know JPV, which is Vidusan, if you just switch that P with the V, it turns out to be JVP. So politics has to stay out of cricket.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting way of looking into stuff. Arshan Joseph, compared to Darshan from the other end, doesn't really offer that much pace. So I'm sure he should be looking into just making sure that line and length should be very accurate as well, because even in that first over of Arshan Joseph that went for 14 runs, we saw the batters playing it across the line of the delivery with ease. That's because of the lack of pace. It gives the batters ample time to play it across the line of the delivery, rock back and play it across the line of the delivery. So that is something Arshan Joseph should be mindful about as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at the field, I would suggest to have one change. I mean, probably get the slip out because he's getting a bit of a movement back in, and maybe drop mid wicket or a square leg deep. As I can see, the batsman is trying to use the angle in and hit it across the leg stump.
Slap.
Over.
Ooh, that's not the best of the efforts down in the deep. And Arshan Joseph is clearly not happy with that effort. And you should be not happy with that either. Let's
Absolutely not. I think he misjudged that delivery. I'm not sure what happened. Wow. Okay, so he could have actually attacked the ball and got the catch, but two minds, and he paid the price. And now they change the fielder, getting in Hamad back in.
Yeah, he was touched too close to the boundary line, to go back and to secure the boundary. So the only option for him was to press forward and take that catch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can understand when the catches come a little flat, it's a little more difficult than the ones that go up. And this is also down the ground and should be a boundary straight and as an arrow. Well, both the batsmen are looking for the runs now. They know that it's a power play and trying to squeeze in as many runs as possible in the first 5 overs. Again, a touch too full.
Yeah, indeed, and played it very straight. He knew that the long off fielder was there, so he was careful enough to play it much more towards that long on region. And he got the boundary. Back-to-back boundaries for JP Vidush and ASHTON Joseph. He's under pressure here. 40 runs already on the board. We're just in we're 3.3 overs in. And we've seen quite the number of shots from Blazing Champions so far. And I'm sure that the two openers have been sent out to the middle with a one clear message. You put a good total on the board in the power play and set the platform for the rest of the guys.
I think this is exactly that didn't happen in the first match for them. I think both the batsmen were out cheaply and the pressure was back on the batting side with 3 or 4 early wickets. So I think today they have a better start. And what I can see is that both the batsmen are just going really hard at the ball, which tells you that, it's a good surface. Even those shots are getting you the runs. Also, at the same time, I would say the bowlers are not bowling the correct line and length. They're a little over the place. That's a better ball, and that's exactly what he should be looking at. He's getting the natural swing back into the batsman, and if he just tries to keep it just outside off stump, back into the top of off, I think that's a very good delivery. Not easy to play.
Yeah, indeed, and we talked about this earlier as well. ASHTON Joseph not having the most express bowler in this lineup, but still very effective. Last bowler this over. Yeah, touch too full once again, but will be just a single. Another good over for the Blazing Champions comes to an end. And 15 runs coming off from that over. 4 overs done, 43 without a loss.
I think the captain of ASHTON Lions must be thinking to get in a change, probably get in a spinner, try to change up things and see how it goes. And if I'm not mistaken, that is exactly what's going to be happening. No, he's just gotten a change in bowler, but it's still pace.
Yeah, it's so interesting. This is a surface where I think we discussed this in one of the previous matches as well. This is a surface where you can trust the bounce, and obviously, it's a good surface for batting as well. We saw a bit of hint of spin on offer in the last weekend, in the second game of that last weekend, but then today, so far nothing really on offer for the spinners. But we'll see how Mohammad Akil will fancy these conditions here at the Thurston College grounds. Pristine conditions. We had a bit of an overcast condition in the morning, but ever since then the sun has been shining well, and we've had some really good cricket being played under the typical hot weather in Colombo.
Yeah, absolutely. It's baking at the moment, and I think these are very good conditions to bat, to be honest. And as you said, I think Akil doesn't need to try to find too much of turn. Oh, that is a catch put down.
Well, came in fast right at the bowler. Well, I'm going to take it as a chance. So that's a second chance dropped.
Absolutely. I mean, it was at a catchable height. Would have loved if that's stuck on. Good delivery. That's what I think the spinners need to try and do. I mean, not try to overturn the ball. Just try to bowl those, tight lines where the batsman, well, he's not quite sure whether to, go for it or try to nudge it for a single. And that's bold. That's exactly what the ASHTON Lions would have loved to have, and they have their first breakthrough. Lovely delivery by Akil. Beat the batsman.
Yeah, the first breakthrough, and Mohammad Akil has certainly made justice to that decision of Mohammad Yazir choosing him to bowl this over. 43 for the loss of 1 wicket. Now let's have a look at that again. He just came in sharp and there we go. Just went with the arm. No real turn on offer. I guess the batter was playing for the spin, but it didn't really spin. It just went straight up and hit that leg stump, middle and leg. So the first wicket goes down as JP Vidushan has to depart and walk back to the pavilion. 43 for 1 in 4.3 overs.
Well, what the batsmen need to really understand is that the ball is still new, pretty new. I mean, like, it's only 4 overs old, and as we know, as a batsman, you need to understand that new ball doesn't tend to turn a lot. It tends to skid on more than not. I mean, as you know, there is the seam side and the leather side, and as soon as it hits that leather, it tends to just skid on with the arms. So, a little surprised with what Vidushan, with his experience, was trying to do. But then again, as ASHTON Lions supporter, I'm really happy for the breakthrough.
Well, that's what happens when we bring in a coach to the commentary box. That's a given, isn't it?
Coach and well-wisher.
Right, so 43 for 1. And in comes the new batter, Ashwin. And Mohammad Akil straight away gets a breakthrough. So far, so good from him. The first 3 deliveries, yet to concede a run and picked up a wicket as well. Nicely
Good
once
delivery.
again.
There is always this argument that left arm bowlers shouldn't be bowling to a left arm batsman, but I believe that Akil can actually prove a lot of people wrong.
Yeah, indeed. It's just making sure that your spinners are confident enough, to bowl with his right hand or left hand, just to make sure that, you're not breaking up the momentum. Just because there's a left hand out there in the middle, you don't bring in your left armer who's doing well, and you're not breaking his momentum. So that's one thing that the captain should also keep in mind as well. 5 overs done. We're done with the power play. Blazing Champions 43 for the loss of 1 wicket. Even Stevens at the end of the power play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, runs wise, I would say probably 10 more than what we expected to give. But Akil's maiden wicket over, I think, brought us back into the game. And I would say now is where the next phase starts, where I think we do have a good attacking bowling options. And it's really interesting to see how Sri Dharan, who didn't get the strike the last over of the power play, would go around in this over, knowing that now there are 5 fielders out in the deep. And the new bowler comes in, Hamad, who didn't play the first game. Experienced, wily old operator, and one of the highest wicket takers for last year, ASHTON Lions. Coming in after a bit of a injury. Well, not injury, more like a sickness. Interesting to see how we go around.
Yeah, it's always good to have those experienced campaigners in your lineup. And Hamad, I remember him bowling in the last season. Always a good option to come in, and especially in those middle overs, to come in and bowl those strict overs where you don't really give much runs. Just paves the way for the rest of the bowlers as well to come in and pick up wickets.
Another very good delivery, straight with the arm. I think both the batsmen are expecting some turn, and there you go, as we were just speaking about it. Straight on and into the wicket, and Sri loses his off stump.
Yeah, just played all over it. Rajendran really, really unnecessary that time. The runs were there, and it's a new bowler. It's just a second or the third delivery. And you go on to play it across the line of the delivery. That was too close, and that was too full to play across the line of the delivery as well. So a cardinal mistake there from the batter himself. And just like that, the second wicket goes down for the Blazing Champions. 43 for 2.
Yeah, absolutely. A little touch too full, and he was nowhere close to the ball. As you can see, his back knee was not even on the ground when he went for the shot. His head position was nowhere above the ball, and he was in no position to play that shot. A little bit of a two-point shot, I would say, and that's what cost him his wicket.
Yeah, maybe I'm sensing a bit of, a premeditation as well. He was all set to play that shot, but then the ball ended up being too full. Didn't really adjust accordingly. But anyway, the second wicket goes down, and Hamad straight away gets a breakthrough for his team, for the ASHTON Lions.
Well, that's 10 dot balls on the trot with the loss of 2 wickets, and that's how fast a game of cricket can change. Lovely lines by Hamad. Not trying too much. I think he's just trying to bowl it just outside off stump. Not looking to turn the ball too much. Just bowl that channel where the batsman is trying to guess if the ball will turn or not. What an excellent over. Another maiden. So 2 maidens on the trot with the loss of 2 wickets. And Blazing Champions, as I say, are 43 for 2 at the end of 6 overs. They were blasting in the first 4 overs. Now the wickets are blazing.
Well, he certainly got a happy coach here. 43 for 2. Ashwin and Franklin, the 2 new batters out there in the middle. Really need to start from scratch here. Not going to be easy, as Hassan did mention that the ASHTON Lions, they do have a good attacking bowling lineup as well. A good bowling contingent can take things to their hands, especially in these middle overs. Now that we're done with the power play, so it'll be a good session of play. Here's Akil once again. Just going with the arm.
Yes. One thing I've realized in the last 3 overs, that this wicket is a little touch slower than what I've expected, because I can see a little bit of turn, and I can see that the wicket is, almost as if the ball is not coming onto the bat, and that tells you that I think playing spin on this wicket is going to be a little challenging than the earlier match in the morning.
Yeah, well, that was the case even during the last weekend as well. If you can remember, in the second game, the ball did start to spin a bit compared to the morning match, and I think it's the same scenario here as well. When the day goes on, the cracks and the footmarks and everything just opens up a wee bit of an opportunity for the spinners to turn the ball.
A little too straight, and that's the first run for them in the last 15 deliveries. So that tells you a story how difficult it has been for the batsmen out there. To be honest, I had a look at the wicket, and looks a very good wicket. I didn't expect that there would be a little of slowness. A couple of balls of Hamad as well kept a little low, and I saw that Darshana's first over had 1 delivery that kept a little low. So, lovely delivery. That is a traditional left arm orthodox delivery. Flighted outside off stump, inviting the batsman to go after it, and beautifully bowled by Keel.
Yeah, once again, no real movement there from the batter Franklin as well. So that's the end of the over. Just 1 run from the second over from Mohammad Akil. How old is Akil anyway?
Good question, but I would say somewhere less than 20 for sure.
Well, that's not a good answer at all.
Well, this I can tell you that probably I should be not calling him by the name, but more like Puta, son. Okay. So that's how young.
That's a good answer, by the way.
But no, he is a young player in his teens, and even though he is in his teens, I would say that his temperament is of a very professional cricketer. He doesn't get bogged down very easily, even though he gets hit for runs. He's ready to go and get the wicket the next ball. Well, Hamad is the total opposite. He is old and he is having the temperament of an old man.
How do you call him then?
Should be calling my uncle probably.
Yeah, it's good to see the right combination working out pretty well for the ASHTON Lions so far, and the addition of Hamad really, I think, have strengthened the core even more for the ASHTON Lions, and I think it felt good to record a win in that first game and coming into the second game with your seniors as well, so that'll boost up the confidence even more.
Yeah, absolutely.
That ball kept low.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was talking about earlier, where Hamad's first over had a couple of deliveries keeping low. Do have the doubt that this might end up being a little bit too paced. Probably not a 200 wicket at the moment, as what I can see. A little too full there. But yeah, absolutely. Hamad is an experienced bowler. He has tons of matches under his belt, and he was a must in the previous game, but due to some reasons, we couldn't play in the first match, and thankfully he is well to go for today's game, and he's back and he's bowled brilliantly as of now, giving good support to Akil from the other end. I think that this sort of wicket might be around 180, should be a good tour. A par score.
Indeed, we did expect the pitch to be one favourable for the batters, but as things turn out, there's a bit of an assistance for the spinners as well. That's a good bit of fielding.
Reminded me of Ashok Dinda, if you have ever heard of him. Ashok Dinda from IPL.
Yeah.
He also wears that bandana around his head. I think what the captain has done as well is not trying to over-attack, but at the same time knowing that both the batsmen are new. Keeping three fielders out in the deep, I think, is the ideal way to go, because the batsmen are not looking for the big shots at the moment, just rotating the strike. And that ends another successful over. Only 4 of it. I think at one stage it looked like 200 plus was on the cards, but the way things are going, I think it's not easy. You need to set yourself as a batsman. Try to take your time in and then look for the the big shots.
Yeah, the momentum completely shifted once the spinners were introduced. They were attacking the fast bowlers all over the park, but then with the introduction of the spinners, things started to slow down a bit. They've lost a couple of wickets as well, so it'll be interesting to see how Yazir will continue, especially in these middle overs. Franklin and Ashwin. Franklin obviously yet to get off the mark as well.
Well, this is a very good change, and he is one of our oldest players, and he is, experience-wise, Nipun. The same man who dropped the catch earlier, first on, but it was a very tough chance. Very, very smart, talented player. Didn't get the chance too much to bowl in the previous matches, but this is his opportunity. Captain has chosen him, and he needs to deliver over here, use his experience, ball those dot balls. He's a Chinaman, might I say, and it's one of the rare type of bowling actions you get around the world.
So far, so good from Nipun Pereira, just keeping things tight. And as you correctly mentioned, it's important to give those dot deliveries as much as possible. That's how you build the pressure. And the 50's up for the Blazing Champions. A little late than how they expected it, but they've lost a couple of wickets as well. But it's a good base, a good platform for these two batters to come in, and they've already made their mark out there in the middle. It's just about getting used to the conditions, as Ashan correctly mentioned. Not the easiest of the conditions it turns out to be for batting. Bit of unevenness on the surface. We saw the ball keeping low, and at the same time just a hint of spin on offer for the spinners as well. So a tricky surface it turns out, and got to make sure that they're being proactive. Now there you go. That's well, Nipun Pereira has tried something out but didn't really work, and ends up being a full toss and a boundary to ease off the pressure.
Yeah, unfortunately that didn't come out right from his hand. He tried the other one. He tried to spin it, turn it away from the batsman, and kind of tossed it up too much. You know, leg spinner, I mean, especially Chinaman, is sort of a bowler who tends to get you the wickets, but at the same time could be expensive because it's one of the hardest actions to go around. You know, you can turn the ball both the ways. It's just the same as a leg spinner. You tend to be economically a little expensive compared to the others, but you're a wicket taker, you know, and should have been stopped over there. But nevertheless, it's a single. A better over.
Yeah, 6 runs coming off from that run from Nipun Pereira. 9 overs done. 55 for 2. Let's have a look at that again. Once again, the ball coming in front of his hand. Unfortunately, couldn't stop the ball.
Very close to be having the nails on his... Well, I have a very interesting story for this Nipun Pereira. He's a very close friend and a dear friend of mine. And he has the nick of getting injured right around the corner when there's a tournament. So let me tell you about his LPO story. Last year, just before the start of Division 3 and the LPL, he went for a catch, not at this ground, but a different venue. And he had a small dislocation on his middle finger. And ever since, he's been carrying that injury, not letting it to recover. This year, the same thing happened almost, where he also got a small injury in one of his knee, if I'm not mistaken. And thankfully, he's recovered and he's playing. But he has that bad omen of getting injured. So I really hope he doesn't... New ball in, and Pasindu. Good fielding over there. Restricts it down to a couple. Another leggy. And didn't come out right from his hand. A little too full. Well, full toss. Not a little. Very full.
Yeah, now they're bringing the attacking bowlers. I would say Pasandu has been quite good even in the last season. And we talked about him extensively in the first game as well. Oh, there we go. That's a risky shot.
A little too full to try for a reverse, I would say, over there.
Again, sort of a premeditated shot there from the batter.
Yes, I mean, Pasindu is not the type of bowler who you can actually go after because his action, he has so many variations and he's a little quick through the air. By the time you realize the ball has already come to the batsman. It's good the captain is looking to attack and try to get into wrist spinners.
Driven nicely this time, Ashwin. So more of a conventional shot there from him.
Though would have loved another over from Hamad or Akhil from one of the ends, try to, because I saw both the batsmen a little struggling against the two bowlers and try to, attack another over, maybe a wicket. And that's in the air, over the top and all the way.
Well, also, I was in two minds whether Franklin actually middled that ball properly. Let's have a look at that again, if we can. Pass into Samara Singer. He was bowling it touch too wide this time and touch too full as well. Let's have a look at the contact point of the bat. Well, I felt like it hit the toe end of the bat, but still got enough power to get it all the way towards the boundary, towards the 6.
Not sure if Banu Rajpaksha, what he said about the Indian bats is true, but that could be an example over here. The infamous interview.
Yeah, so you're guessing that's an Indian bat Ashwin is using?
Could be. Can't say a word right now. Probably have a word with him after the match.
Right, so 11 runs from this over from Pasindu so far, with one more delivery to go. It's wide once again, but full right in the block horse. So that's the end of the over. 10 overs done. 67 for 2.
Well, the batsmen tried to break the shackles in that over. I think they sort of understood that 4 overs have gone without many runs being scored. And they decided that one of the bowlers must go after. And this over was a little more expensive than what we expected. 12 runs coming off it. Run rate is under control from ASHTON Lions' perspective. But you just can't let go of the game. I mean, like, one over can change the whole momentum of the game. I mean, just look, at one point they were going at 4.8, 5.2, and now they're about 6.7. So ASHTON Lions shouldn't try and get their foot off the pedal yet. Try and tighten those screws. Nipumpera again for another over. Lovely delivery. Inviting the batsman to go for the drive and well beaten outside off stump.
Yeah, a good delivery there from Nipun once again. He's been good. He's been bowling. This one, it's up in there. It could be a chance. Oh, just falling short of the fielder. It will be just a single.
Good effort.
Yeah, tough one that was, but a good effort.
As I say, like, that ball was in the air for a little while, but probably the fielder was a little wider. He's one of the best fielders in our side, might I say.
Ah, yes, just touch too short. 16 off 13 for Franklin. He's been quite aggressive. I got that wrong entirely. That's a wide, almost a no ball.
That's the exact delivery he was trying to bowl. Trying to beat the batsman, and previous ball unfortunately didn't come out right. Franklin is looking a little agitated. I think he's looking for the big shot. Oh, almost. And that's the finger. And I was just telling you about this and over earlier.
So is that the middle finger? Ah, that should be painful.
Well, I don't hope that he does show which finger is injured to the camera. Could be banned for the next match.
It's all up to Yusuf. Well, let's hope he's okay. Let's have a look at...
Franklin was backing away. He was trying to make some room outside off stump with the ball turning away. Let's see where this went. Well, I really can't say which part of his body is injured over there. Probably the nail part of the finger. Well, that's a good time for the players to take a few refreshments while the bowler gets treated on his finger. And he's walking out. Well, I think he has done himself. Yes, Nipumpera is walking off.
That's very unfortunate.
I really thought that this over was the over where he could have maybe gotten Franklin, because he was struggling a little against his pace. That's a huge blow for ASHTON Lions. Down by one bowler.
Yep. Not going to be easy now. Nipumpera obviously bowled well throughout. So far 1.4 overs, give it away only 9 runs. And there's going to be a big loss for the ASHTON Lions. Oh, what's happening there?
Well, Yusuf have organized a lion to the ground. I never knew that.
in support of ASHTON Lions.
Yes, there you go. I was just about to say that. Grab it right out of my mouth. Well, thank you, Yusuf. I really appreciate it. Raslan to complete the last 2 deliveries of the over. And what a good start. Oh, that is poor. That is really poor. And that's a direct throw. Is that out? And it's given.
Yes. Well. There we go.
Well, that was sort of a way to confuse the batsman to go take the second, and boom. Direct throw, and really a crime for the batsman.
Oh, yes. Well, the first instance, the bails actually dropped way before the ball came in, for sure. If I'm not mistaken. Let's have a look at this.
So I think there's a small replay going on over here.
There we go. The bails went down.
Oh, dear.
But the batter is walking anyway. I think the umpires did realize that the bails went off before, and the ball actually hit the stumps. And I think the umpires...
The second bail fell down at that moment, so...
Not the best of the angles to confirm whether he was short of his ground, but obviously the umpires had a good look at that. Had the best view of the ground. But nevertheless, 3 wickets down now. ASHTON Lions have made a good comeback into this game. 70 for 3 now.
Well, in brings the captain, Mr. Richard. Another left-hander. Well, I think the fielder again is trying to just give the 2 and then try to get the run out. No.
You can't be predictable.
Yes.
It looks like the players are smarter than the coaches.
Well, honestly speaking, I was going to criticize the fact that he was allowed a couple there, but a very good follow-up by the fielder. He had a direct throw. Bullseye.
A good work all round from the ASHTON Lions. They've got 3 wickets now, 11 overs, 72 for 3. They got things under control. Even the run rate is under a controllable level, and Dulshan is the new man in.
Well, I was mistaken. I thought that it was the captain of the team, who was a very hard hitter, must I say.
Richard Jessley.
Yes. Played a couple of times with him, and my words.
Well, he did mention at the coin toss that they were anyway going to bat first. So when ASHTON Lions won the toss and elected to field first, he was happy to bat first anyway.
Yeah, I think that has something to do with the result, the previous game, because they were chasing, and I think with that in mind, the captain must have chosen to probably bat first. As you can see, it's a win-win situation for both sides then in that case.
Indeed. And yes, he did mention that they've tried to restrict Blazing Champions for anywhere around 150, 160. That would be ideal. But it'll be a problem if they get close to that 200 run mark, given how this pitch has worked out for the spinners so far. That's touch too wide outside the off stump from Pasandu Samarsinghe. But he's a smart bowler, isn't he, Pasandu?
Absolutely. He has a ton of variations under his belt, so he's not the type of bowler that you can expect that this ball is going to turn away, this is going to just come on straight. He plays around with those angles and the grip that he possesses.
Right, so just a couple of runs so far from this over. Driven on the up. This time Ashwin. Happy to get a single. This is a crucial period, isn't it, Ashan? The middle overs, especially when you have your spinners coming in. And if it all depends on, you've got to be sharp in the field as well. It all depends on how your spinners operate in these middle overs. Because especially in this subcontinent, it's the spinners who take the center stage in these middle overs. It's a given fact. It's a known fact. It's an obvious fact as well. So it's important as batters to make sure that you are maintaining that right pace, that right momentum throughout these middle overs, not to give away anything in these middle overs. Especially with the bat in hand, you expect the batting side to make somewhere around 7 to 8 runs. Just keep continuing that momentum right throughout these middle overs, because obviously when the thing with the spinners is a loose ball will come once in a while, and you got to make sure that you're taking the full advantage. So as a batter, especially when it comes to batting in these middle overs, you got to be smart, you got to be canny, and you got to be very, very watchful as well.
Absolutely. Two things that are very important as a bowler over here is that, number one, you need to be very patient. You can't look to over attack. See, this is the sort of the phase where, and that is cut away nicely. A little bit of width, quick outside off stump, down to the third man boundary. This is exactly what I mean. Like, as a bowler, you need to understand that batsmen are trying to just nudge the singles, work around for the gaps, and they're not looking for the big shots, because this middle phase between over number 12 and 18 probably is where the batsmen try to pretty much consolidate the first few runs that they have made and try to build the innings all the way till the end. So you have to be very patient, not over attack. And that is a good delivery. It's straight. Is it given? And it's given. Well, that reminded me of Rudy Kurtzen. The slow finger of death. Lovely delivery. That's what you need to do. Keep it straight. And Raslan picks up his first wicket.
There we go. Straight and easy decision for the umpire. I was crashing onto the stumps for sure.
Definitely Rudy Kurtzen over there.
Yeah. Didn't even try to raise his finger. Right, so 4 down for 79 now.
And that was the batsman in form, in touch. He was actually looking to score the runs, and that brings the drink break.
Yep, 79 for 4, 12.2 overs, and the players hydrate themselves out there in the middle.
back after the break. A very interesting thing I did notice is one of the water boys was, in fact, the manager and the owner, co-owner, Mr. Ishrat. That's a very good move by the captain to bring in a slip. Try to attack.
Yeah, things are working out pretty well for the ASHTON Lions. The spinners coming in, picking up wickets. That's a flatter and a faster delivery cutaway. And there's a fielder down in the deep.
I think this is a better field because you tend to cover the area where the batsman can go after. And he doesn't need to be afraid of bowling that ball a little shorter outside off stump. Looking for that edge. Two new batsmen at the crease. And it's another moment of building the innings.
Yeah, indeed, got to start from scratch once again. Tulshan and Hasindu have the runs on the board. 80 for the loss of 4 wickets. Maybe 20 to 25 runs short, I would say. But then...
Oh, and another wicket.
That ball came in sharp.
Top of off, and that is exactly what Ruslan is known for. Beauty. Oh, that is just a reminder of Murali at his prime.
Well, the surprising fact is that he bowled with a good pace as well. So there's pace on offer and you turn the ball. That's a deadly combination.
Absolutely. Ruslan was one of the highest wicket takers of LPL 3. He is a very smart bowler and he tends to get a lot more purchase of the wicket compared to a lot of other bowlers. I mean, he is an off spinner, but he's getting more turn than the two wrist spinners, if you noticed.
Yeah, indeed. That's encouraging stuff there for the ASHTON Lions. Right, so now 13 overs done and half the side back in the pavilion for the blazing champions. 80 for 5. Hasindu and Sasiri, two batters out there in the middle. Not going to be easy, this one. Blazing champions once again find themselves in a really hard and a difficult position.
Well, I must say, there is one particular player I was maybe looking forward to be seeing playing as of now. Danushka. He's a very good middle order batsman. Left arm orthodox.
Swept away down towards the mid-wicket region.
I think now they require to build the innings. I mean, what they need to do is, from the perspective of ASHTON Lions, they need to try and restrict this total down to around about 140, 130, 140, even less, it'll be better. I think the batting side did realize that there is some purchase on offer. A little slow, 2 pace, 160, 180 might be a good total. In the air, but in the waken gap. And they pick up 2, a small bit of a fumble, and the batsmen reach home.
Let's have a look at the last wicket. This one just came in sharp. Good bounce off the surface. As everything about that particular delivery from Ruslan. That's exactly what you expect from your off spinner.
Well, as a coach, any coach in this world would always keep saying that try and target the top of off stump. That is just the exact delivery that an off spinner should bowl. A loose one couldn't go away. Pasia is just trying to bowl a little too fast compared to the other bowlers. In the gap. And that runs away to the boundary. Beautiful shot, I must say. He waited and he just pierced that gap to perfection.
Yeah, just a casual push there from Sasiri.
Yeah, as I said, Pasia is just trying to bowl a little too fast and a little too short. You need to try to loop it up a little more and give a bit more revs to the delivery. Oh, that's a good delivery. As you can see, that kept a touch low.
Yeah, indeed. And passing to Samara Singha. And he's certainly troubling the batters at the moment. That's the way to go. You bowled it one outside the off stump. You got pushed away for a boundary.
Good comeback delivery.
Yep. There we go. Much better from Pasindu. The batters will try to look for the second run. Nope. Just oh, got to hurry. Oh, gets back home quite safe. And Pasindu just slipped out of nowhere. 14 overs done. 89 for 5.
That last really tells you that is exactly the line and the pace that you need to bowl on this wicket. As you can see, Pasia just try to loop it a little bit more, not give a lot of pace on offer, and as you can see, the batsmen have no other option but just to nudge it down for a single. This is what the bowlers need to try and do. Just try to bowl it a little more slower through the air. And I think the wicket is helping the bowlers. And Ruslan comes in, and might I say, Ruslan is here because of an injury to Nipun. So he was brought in a little earlier to the wicket, and he delivered.
Oh yes, look at those figures. 1.2 overs, 2 wickets for just 7 runs. He has been quite outstanding so far.
That is sliding down leg side. Probably too high as well.
Well, I like the fact that Ruslan is getting some good bounce off the surface as well compared to the rest of the bowlers. He has a high arm action and he tends to spin the ball well, but at the same time, it's just that the bounce is kind of deceiving the batters as well.
Yeah, he has a high arm action, as you can see, and that tends to hit the seam. So, as you remember, I had spoken earlier regarding when the bowlers are bowling, and if it hits a leather, it tends to skid and go on with the arm. But if it hits the seam, and you tend to get a bit more purchase of the wicket, and that's exactly what Ruslan is doing. High arm action, holding the seam, and then just giving it some reps, which offers him some turn. And we have a visitor today, surprising visitor, some overcast condition coming in. Dark clouds, by the looks of it, shouldn't be a worry, but not the friendliest of visitors would like to have.
Now this time he goes across and it's a boundary. Yeah, it is a 4. Just a small shuffle across the stumps there for Sasiri. And he played it nicely on towards that mid-wicket region. Touch too short there from Ahmed Ruslan once again. There we go. Not much turn and off at that time. Just came in straight. And easy pickings. He was determined to play a big shot that time. And he got that nicely. So that'll ease off the pressure a bit for the Blazing Champions. 94 for the loss of 5 wickets now. We're into the 15th over. This time it goes well. It goes high up in there. And it's gone all the way for a maximum. A 4 and a 6 for the Blazing Champions. And the 100 comes up in the 15th over, rather the 14th one. 14.4 overs. Once again, that shuffle across the stumps there from the batter. Down on one knee. And he's played it gracefully down towards that mid-wicket region for a maximum. Right, so now 100 is up for the Blazing Champions. And this time much better. There we go. That's good cricket all around. Sasiti seems to be a proper player. You hit a 4, you hit a 6, and you take a single and you give the strike back to the batter at the other end. Yeah, 100 up. 100 for the loss of 5 wickets. Last ball of this over. Right, so that's the end of the over. Oh, in fact, it's been given as a no ball. Oh, there's too much fielders outside the 30-yard. It's been given as a no ball and it'll be a free hit.
Oh, that is a crime. Things happened too quickly and the momentum just shifted to the opposition. Free hit coming up. Over the top, and that's inside out, and it's another boundary. Oh, things turned around in just the span of one over. Couple of boundaries, a big shot, a little touch too full, and over the top, inside out, lovely shot down the ground. And Blazing Champions, 15 overs, 101 for 5. Now, the last 10 overs in hand, probably looking at another 70, 80 runs they'll be happy with. And I think the ASHTON Lions try and restrict them to another 50, 60 odd runs would be a mini win of this challenge. And Akil comes back into the attack.
Yeah, it's a good time to be back for Akil, especially in these middle overs to bowl the 16th over. And a wicket here will definitely work in the favour of ASHTON Lions, because these two batters, especially Sasiri, seems well in control out there in the middle. Oh, this time
lovely
goes
shot
up.
inside out, and that's another boundary. Well. Am I missing a trick here? Did the wicket change all of a sudden? Batsmen seem completely in control. I think Sasiri is trying to play a lovely cameo over here. 7 balls, 23 runs.
Yeah, he certainly is enjoying it out there in the middle against the spinners. He's on 23 of 9. Yeah. Heading into the last 10 overs. Should be out there in the middle till the very end. That should be the lifeline for the Blazing Champions here. The projected score stands at 181.
Well, Sasiri is bringing the heat back to the ASHTON Lion boys, and I can feel it. I can feel the boys are feeling a little nervous out there. And that should be close. That should be given. And it's not given, saying there is an inside edge. Well.
That's interesting. That looks straight enough, but surely an inside edge might have convinced the umpire.
Need to look at a replay on that.
Let's have a look at that again.
Good ball and a quick single. Direct throw. No. Well, batsman was a little afraid that the ball will hit his number.
It'll be interesting if we can have a replay. There we go.
To me, I don't think so. There was bat involved.
It's a tricky one.
Akil must be feeling robbed over there of a wicket. Kept low. Lovely arm delivery. Definitely hitting middle and leg. There was a gap between bat and pad, but then again, umpire's call. These errors are very common to the naked eye. I mean, we are looking at a replay, and this happens so quickly that sometimes it's really hard to judge what exactly went down. Another single. I think this is how you need to go around with an over, where you get the first ball down to the boundary line, and then each delivery you go for a single, and when you look up, there's already 8 on the board. Another single. Lovely footwork. This is what's needed. I mean, we always talk about the turn, but we never talk about the batsman using their feet. This is what's needed when the ball is having some turn, keeping a little low. Steve Smith is a great example of how he works around with the spin. Michael Clark was another example. Jawadana, great players of spin, always do realize that if there is some purchase on offer. Worked around the corner.
Yeah,
Just a single.
Down towards the mid-wicket that time. And that's the end of the over. Another good over from Akhil. He got hit for a boundary the first ball, but he came back strongly. 16 overs done, 114 for 5.
This is exactly what happens when the momentum is on the batting side. No matter how good of a bowler you are, those errors seems to happen because you are also under pressure. You just saw a couple of shots hit the previous over and now you're under pressure. Okay, I need to try to bowl a wicket, try to squeeze in a wicket over here. That's how the only way I can get this guy out. And that's when the bowler tends to make the mistake. I think this is what we need to understand, that our temperament should be of that trying to bowl a couple of dot balls. The man is looking to hit for me. So 2 dot balls, batsman under pressure again, and probably you can get a result out of that.
Right, so asking the question this time. Nothing there from the umpire once again. Hamad.
That was a half appeal from Hamad. To be honest, he was a little late. And just looking at the keeper, he went as well. And then looking at his... Well, he looked at his captain as if there's a review that he can go for.
Option, yeah.
Lovely ball, flighted outside off stump. That's exactly what you need to do at this moment, not try to bowl it too straight. Hasinu, on the other hand, has to just rotate the strike and give the strike to Sasiri, who's playing brilliantly at the moment, and that's exactly what's done. Not sure why the bowler ran after that ball when there's a fielder already placed. Maybe trying to get in his calorie count done. Steps in.
Yeah, these two batters, they've tackled the spinners quite well. They've gotten those 1s and 2s as well, as you correctly mentioned, using the feet well, getting to the pitch of the delivery. And that's one of those qualities that you need to, master when you're batting in these subcontinent conditions. Using the feet, getting to the pitch of the delivery, not letting the bowler to turn the ball much. And at the same time, the sweep shots, very, very effective. And you see players like, Joe Root, who comes into subcontinent, they end up sweeping every delivery.
And as you were just speaking, I mean, a very good shot. Fielder already in placement, but yes, you're absolutely right. There was a series where England did come down to Sri Lanka in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, 16 or 18, one of the two. And England's challenge up against our spinners was basically sweep every single delivery. Joe Root. We had a great innings by their opener. Well, test match he plays down somewhere in the middle. And yes, you're absolutely right. Sweep shot is an excellent option against the spin bowlers. Another tidy over by Hamad. 17 overs gone, 116 for 5. We're on to the last phase of this game. Last 8 overs. What is a sort of total that you expect is good on this wicket?
Well, indeed, as you correctly mentioned, anything closer to 200 would be something ideal on this surface, as we saw so far from the spinners. They've taken a good control of these conditions, and they're getting some purchase of the conditions as well. So anything around 180 to 200 would be ideal. But at the moment, 116 for 5, a wicket here, a wicket to 2 here will definitely change the whole complexion of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very interesting to see. This is going to be a good challenge. Pasinu versus Sasiri, who is actually looking good. Oh, that was edged and hit the keeper's glove, running down to the boundary, another boundary. Well, half a chance, I would say.
Yeah, it's a tough one for the wicket keeper as well. The runs are coming in. Doesn't matter how they come, as long as they're being counted as boundaries. Yeah, it's tough one for the wicket keeper.
Sort of sat up as the ball was coming into his gloves. His eye level was a little higher. Well, that's not the delivery that... oh, that's a misfield right through the gap and another boundary. This is not looking good for ASHTON Lions. And, well, Sasiri is moving along well, 34 of 15.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate. That's just letting your bowlers down. There
Mind
we
you,
go.
it was a very poor delivery outside off stump. Was looking to be hit. Got a bottom edge and yet... well, the batsman did get the result that he was looking for.
8 runs off the first 2 deliveries. Oh, this time it goes high up in there. Chance, and it's taken. So finally, passing to Samara Singh gets a breakthrough. He was touch expensive throughout the spell, but he gets a wicket, and it's a big man. It's a dangerous man, Sasiri, who has to depart for 34 runs.
I must say that was a mistake and an error from the batsman. Then he didn't have to look for the shot, might I say. Good take.
Yeah, 124 for 6 in 17.3 overs, and passing to Samara Singh with the breakthrough.
Exactly what the doctors order, and a wicket over here was very crucial. Otherwise, the Blazing Champions were going along really nicely in that small passage of play, 3 overs. They were getting the odd boundary in every over, and that wicket has just brought in the captain, Jessley, Richard, who's also a very big hitter. Mind you must be watchful in the first few deliveries.
You might not take a chance against Pastor Samar Singh, who's bowling well at the moment. As I mentioned, he's been touch expensive today, but he's got the breakthrough that the team desperately wanted.
Another appeal. Nothing there from the umpire. I do have a feeling that probably Blazing Champions will... ah, there you go. He threw the kitchen sink at that one. Good wind.
Not going to wait around easy. Chesley Richards, an attacking batter, will try to get after the bowling. Yeah. Last ball of this over from Pasindu Samar Singh. Once again.
Goes for it again. Inside edge and a quick single.
I couldn't really get under the board properly that time, Chesley. But an eventful over, couple of boundaries and then a wicket. Pasindu Samar Singh completes his 4 overs, 1 for 33, 18 down, 125 for 6.
I believe that probably if they hadn't lost that wicket, probably would have gone for the power play, since both the batsmen were set in.
Yeah, I was actually looking into the first game as well. The Croston Kings, who batted first in that game, I felt like even they took that power play overs touch too late, and it's always working against you when you don't take that power play overs at the right time, because you end up losing wickets. And when it comes to the power play, when you're forced to take the power plays at the last 2 overs, let's say, you are stuck with 2 bowlers without any proper batters.
Well, Richard is actually looking to just throw his bat from ball 1, and Ruslan is bowling his 3rd over. I must say, Richard needs to look. There's another 7 overs to go down, and that's in the air, in the gap. Good stop over there by Arakam, and the batsman complete the 2nd. Very easy.
Once again, Chesley Richards, he's on strike here against Razlan. That's good bowling there.
Should be a couple. No, they would decide against it, since the keeper ran really quickly to that. Yeah, you're correct. Last match as well, I had a word with the captain, and I believe that Croston did take their power play really late in that innings. Nevertheless, I would say that 220 still was a very good total. Cut, little fumble, and that allows for another easy single. Ruslan is bowling it very lovely loop, trying to invite the batsman to go after him. Not in control again, and another single.
Yeah, tidy over so far from Ruslan. Just 5 runs from it. Last ball of this over coming up. Swept away. But straight into the hands of the fielder. Another fumble. We couldn't really collect the ball properly that time. And the batters will cross the end. Have crossed the end for a single. So 6 runs coming off from that over from Ruslan. 19 overs done, 131 for 6.
I think probably Richard is realizing that he needs to look and score somewhere close to 200. That's probably why he's looking for that big shot from the ball number 1. 6 overs in hand. 2 of those which are going to be power play, batting power play, where you only have 2 fielders out in the deep. As a batting unit, you need to target somewhere around about 20 to 25, which is excellent. So barring from that, I think the remaining 4 overs, if you squeeze in about 30, should be a very good target. I mean, like, you can get somewhere around about 180, 190. Well, Pasya is going to be bowling the 5th over. There's only 1 bowler allowed to bowl 5 overs, and that by the ASHTON Lions has been chosen to be Pasindu.
Well, he's as smart as it is, isn't he? This time it goes up in there, and there's protection down in the deep. It's always good to have a spinner like Pasindu Samarasinga for any team who can, you can bring him in at any time, even if it's a last over. Pasindu Samarasinga is someone who can bowl that, someone who can do that as a bowler, given the number of variations he has up in his sleeves.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing I think the captain would be thinking is that both the batsmen are left-handed, and his other 2 bowlers would be Akil and Hamad, both of whom are also left-arm orthodox. So probably going in for a leggy would be a better option. Cut away, only a single. Not to take chances with Arkham's hand. Bullet fielder. Pasina has been bowling really smart this over so far. Flat and into the wicket, trying to just give that single. Try something new over there, the batsman, and well bowled by Pasindu.
Yeah, so the batter making that slight adjustment, that movement, made himself adjusted to that as well.
Another lovely delivery, and so far only 2 runs off this over. Hasindu must be itching for a boundary, and Pasindu must be itching for a wicket. Oh, that's full, outside off stump. Restricted to a single. Oh, they're coming for a second with the fumble. A direct throw might have been a little more closer. Ends the over, 20 overs done, 135 for 6.
It was a good run in between the wickets. So the fielder making a slight fumble. It was quick enough to get back for the second run as well. 135 for 6. We're heading into the last 5. So in order to get to that 180 mark, they need 50 from these last 5 overs.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy ask, but do keep in mind that 2 overs are going to be of that batting power play where the fielders, with the fielding restrictions, you tend to feel a little better as a batting unit that, yes, we can squeeze in about 20 runs or so. But then again, with the wickets in hand, it's going to be a tough ask. I think Ashton Lions would be happy to give somewhere less than 50 runs, and the opposite would be for Blazing Champions. And new bowler in, Arkham in the air, and this should be taken, and it is. And that's the fall of Hasindu. A friendly full toss, first ball by Arkham in the air, and one of the simplest catch. Might I say, it wasn't the best of the deliveries, but as long as you get the wickets, right?
Yeah, indeed. Doesn't matter we bowl it as long as you're getting those wickets in time. And there is a timely wicket for the Ashton Lions. 7 wickets down for 135. And Hasindu, in fact, not Hasindu.
Richard.
Yeah. So 7 down for 135. Akram Nizar getting that breakthrough from his very first delivery itself. Brilliant effort so far from the Ashton Lions. They've done good job here. Got a happy coach with me.
That is something you don't do with a match ball. You can't be having the match ball till the batsman is
The umpire's
out.
reaction says the story.
Yes. Probably he's feeling a little guilty of giving away the full toss, so he's trying and practicing. Not the right time, though. New batsman in Tarindu. Big ask. 5 overs to go. Still a lot of runs to be scored. A little too full on the off stump and gets an easy single. Well, a fumble. But batsman decide against the second. One wicket can change the whole momentum of the batting side. And as you can see, I think at the moment, they're looking to play out the 25 overs rather than not.
Yeah, the captain should consider himself extremely unlucky to get out on a full toss like that.
I think what the bowling side needs to do right now is try and restrict the opposition. Ball the overs really quick, not allowing the batsman to settle. Mind you, again, the batting power play must be delayed since the departure of their captain. Looking at it, probably they'll keep it till the last 2 overs and peel and given wide. I think that's a little...
Yes, a bit tough on the bowler. That was very close to the wide line, yes. They cut away, but straight into the hands of the...
Oh, no. Terrible misfield. Lucky enough, it's only gone for another extra run. Your point fielder is supposed to be one of your best fielders. Not to have anything against Hamad, but probably would have hoped for a different player. Quick under edge. A little bit of luck there and another single. Spoils otherwise a very good over. 21 overs gone, 141 for 7. Right, we're down to the last 4 overs of the innings. Interesting to see if the batting side would choose to take the power play now. Mind you, I always had this feeling that the last 2 overs, no matter what, in an innings, is going to go for runs. I mean, with the innings almost to an end, I think taking the batting power play in the last 2 overs is a bit of a crime. I would say take around 21st or 22nd over and get that bit of advantage. But then again, with 7 wickets down, I don't think so that the batsmen are really keen on taking a batting power play.
Yeah, in my opinion, if you have wickets in your hand, the ideal option, in my opinion, I could be wrong, is to get those 2 power play overs 19th and 20th over. Because after that, you've got 5 overs to go. There we go. That's up in there. This could be out. Yes, it is. Taken in the deep. And the 8th wicket goes down. It's Tharindu. Or is it Hasindu? We'll wait for the confirmation. But regardless, it's a wicket. And it's an 8th wicket down.
Not the best of the deliveries, but then again, good catch in the deep by the captain.
Yeah, 8 down now.
Well, it would have been interesting if this was a power play. Probably the fielder wouldn't have been deep. Since Hamad is a left-arm orthodox, probably the field would have been more mid-wicket and probably long off. So those small things do add up at the end.
Yeah. No doubt about that. 141 for 8 now.
Well, this is the same batsman I was talking about earlier. Is it Danushka?
Danushka.
No. I'm not sure. Bit of glare on the screen. I must say, Hamad had bowled an amazing spell today. The first 3 overs going only for 6 runs. And at the moment, it's still, 7 runs. And at the moment, it's still only 8. And picked up 2 wickets.
Really showing his experience.
Oh, 2 full. But probably hitting him outside off stump. Half a peel. 2 full to go for a sweep over there.
Yeah, once again, Hasindu. He's been good so far. 16 off 24. He needs to stay out there in the middle as long as he can. I worked around down towards the mid-wicket region for another quick single.
I think now the batting side is probably looking to play out the 25 overs rather than not. And try and see where they can assess and try to go for the big shots. Maybe the last 2 overs would be the time with only 2 wickets in hand. Get a couple of singles here and there and push that score to maybe about 160, 165. Another good delivery outside off stump. Another single. Shamshul has a very simple job over there, is to try and rotate the strike. Give the strike as much as possible to Hasindu, who's been there for 25 deliveries. Quick single. Controversial one from the bowler's perspective.
22 overs done. 145 for 8 now. Heading into the last 3 overs. Shamsul and Hasindu, the 2 batters out there in the middle. Are we seeing? Oh yes, I feel like they're taking the power play overs. Yes.
Interesting move.
A touch too late once again.
Absolutely.
But that's how this game has been played so far in this the LSPL. Still, I feel the teams haven't got their strategies right in terms of when you take these power play overs.
It's really nice to see that Akil is bowling the power play over, a spinner. And that is a very good move, I would say, because the spin has been working really well throughout the day so far. The spinners, in fact, have brought the game back for the ASHTON Lions, and it only speaks justice if they were brought into the power play. A little bit of a shuffle in the field. 2 players allowed outside the 30-yard circle. Oh, down the ground. Gone. And it's gone.
Well. Hasindu had one job to do, and that was to play it over and above that mid-on field. But only ended up playing it right into the bread basket of the mid-on field. Here we go. Easy as you like.
Well, with things going around, I think ASHTON Lions need to try and finish off this innings within this over. try to keep them under 150, which would have been the initial target that the guys and the boys have discussed. Below par, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Very below par, and at the same time with 9 down for 145. And it's the spinners who have taken the control of this game. Right, so Mohammad Akil straight away. Ball number 1, you get a wicket. That's a good ball once again. Just keeping it very tight. This is a good bowling attack. And you correctly mentioned at the start that you have that you got quite a lot of attacking bowlers, and I think the bowlers have done justice to your remark on them.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said from the start, that even though we were a little expensive in the power play, I do know that we have that bowling capability of pulling things back, and that's exactly what the boys showed today. So yes, really proud of how the things went. Would have liked a few things here and there, a couple of drop catches, couple of misfields, so not the perfect display. But then again, would be really happy in comparison to the last match, where I think we gave away about 20-25 extra runs in the field. Slow, letting the batsman make all the room and go for the shot. No real pace on offer, so the batsman need to try and get over by his power. And bowled, and that's the end of the innings. Shuffled across and loses his leg stump. And as I said earlier, pointed out that this needs to be the end of the innings, and it has ended just as soon as they took the power play.
Yeah, indeed. I think really worked out for Blazing Champions with the bat in hand today. To put it to bat first, 146 all out in 22.5 overs. And it's been a wonderful bowling display from the ASHTON Lions. They've really managed to pull things back after that fiery start by the Blazing Champions in the power play. But after that, with the introduction of the spinners, nothing really worked out for them, and it was the spinners who took the center stage for ASHTON Lions to restrict them for just 146 in just 22.5 overs. A wonderful all-round performance, in everyone contributing with the ball in hand. That's a good thing. It was a collective effort from the bowling contingent of the ASHTON Lions, and they've done a remarkable job here.
Yes, absolutely. I think Blazing Champions must be disappointed with keeping in mind that they did want to bat first. Probably this is not the score that they were looking at.
Yeah, let's have a look at the batting performances of the Blazing Champions. Well, they were restricted for 146. It was Sasiri Adhikari who top scored for the Blazing Champions. 34 of 16, and then a couple of 20s for JP Vidurushan and Rajendran Sridharan in the power play. That set the tone for the Blazing Champions. But from there onwards, the spinners really took control of the game. So in 22.5 overs, they managed to get only 146 in just 22.5 overs.
Absolutely. They were looking at somewhere around 200 mark when the two openers were going. A good comeback by the ASHTON Lions, and having a look at the bowling attack. Expensive by the two fast bowlers. But then again, if you look at Akil and Hamad, 5 overs and only 21 runs in the over of 8 overs that the two have bowled. Great bowling by Nipun Pera, good support by Pasindu. A little expensive than would have liked. Ruslan bowled excellent, barring the second last over. Arkam Nizar also picked up wickets, so all the bowlers, the spinners, have been in the pick of the wicket except for Nipun. ASHTON Lions would be really happy with restricting the opposition to 146. Right, so the target being 147.
Right, so before that, highlights for the Blazing Champions. They made 146. It was JP Vidrushan and Rajendran Sridharan who really made the contributions with the bat in hand in the power play. 21 respectively for the two batters, JP Vidrushan and Rajendran. And after their dismissal, Ashwin Nasir looked good for his 17 of 26. And then Franklin Chesley made 17 of 15 deliveries as well. When after the power play, the spinners came in, and that's where things really got out of control for the Blazing Champions. The wickets started to tumble one after another, and Razlan was quite impressive as well. He got the wickets that the team desperately needed, and this was one of the runouts, a direct hit working in favour. And Tulshan and Hasindu Prabodh, this was Tulshan getting dismissed as well. Some really good performances with the ball in hand. Razlan was quite impressive with the ball in hand. Pasan Samarasinghe was touched too expensive today, but he bowled well in the context of this game. But yeah, every spinner contributed well with the ball in hand. This was Pasan Samarasinghe getting that big breakthrough. That was a big breakthrough, and Asasiri Adhikari, who was really looking dangerous. It was Pasandu Samarasinghe who came forward and took that wicket to get rid of him. And then from there onwards, Jessley Richards, the captain, was dismissed. Tarindu De Silva was dismissed cheaply as well. Shamsul Munir again dismissed. And then it was Mohammad Akil who really set the tone with the ball in hand in those power play overs to get rid of the last two batters. And this was that last dismissal, if I'm not mistaken. Right, so the Blazing Champions have made it to only 146 in their allocated overs. In fact, they've been all out for just 22.5 overs. So we'll take a short break and we'll be back with the run chase. Right, so welcome back to Thurston College Grounds as we bring you the live action of the LSPL Lancashire Premier League 2026. It's the ASHTON Lions taking on the Blazing Champions, and the Blazing Champions have been all out for 146 runs, giving ASHTON Lions a total, or a target rather, of 147 runs to get in 25 overs. The pitch has become a bit tricky. The spinners have taken control of the proceedings with the ball in hand for the ASHTON Lions. So it'll be interesting to see how the Blazing Champions spinners would take things under control as well. Right, so here we go. Ball number one of this run chase. ASHTON Lions chasing down a total of 147. Pramodya and Ahmed, the two openers for the ASHTON Lions, along with Pradeep Roshan. Oh, big confusion between the two batters, and the fielder didn't really make the best use out of that. He missed out on the first instance, A chance gone down early in the innings. That's the end of the first over. Just one run coming off from it. A good one from Pradeep Prashan. First boundary. Now this run chase belongs to Pramod there. This good bowling from Shamsul Munir. He's bowling with good pace as well. Two has done, 8 without loss. Up and over he goes for a maximum. There we go. Lofted on the offside and it's gone all the way for a... Well, it's a 4. There we go, nicely played. Played it on the up. And we're having rain coming in. It was overcast right from the morning, but then there was this period where it was fine, but now the rain has appeared out of nowhere, so hopefully it's just a passing shower. Nothing serious than that. Right, we'll continue the play just for the moment.
That's the end of Rosine.
Right, so at the moment 23 for the loss of 1 wicket, and there's a slight drizzle going across as well, and our technical team have informed us that they will have to cover up the cameras just for a brief moment till we get past this small drizzle. And once we're done with that, we'll be back live. Right, so we're back live here at Thurston College grounds. We had a small technical difficulty with the rain coming in. A small drizzle going past. Didn't really interrupt the game. Oh, that's a good shot down the ground. There's a fielder. Oh, went just over his head. Has gone over the way for a maximum. He's a very strong player, Pramod there. And slapped down the ground. And he was quite outstanding even in the first game for the ASHTON Lions. And now once again stepping up to the occasion and punching the ball out of the park. Easy as you like.
For a moment, I thought he was going to get caught there.
Well, that's the end of the over. 7 overs done, or rather 6 overs done. 7 runs coming off from that last over. It's 35 for 1. Well, the overcast conditions, it persists at the moment. 35 for 1 in 6 overs. It's been a slow, steady start for ASHTON Lions. They've only lost 1 wicket. So that's one positive to take out of these 6 overs. But 112 off 114. They're taking things slowly. They don't have much runs to chase down. Just a below par total of 146, which is gettable even if they go at this rate. And a change of bowling. Ashwin Asiri to bowl the 7th over.
Driven down the ground. That's a wonderful shot played by Ashan. But knowing the nature of the openers of ASHTON Lions, I was expecting an explosive start from the beginning. But the bowlers have managed to keep the explosive pair quiet.
Indeed. This time he goes to the offside. And is it taken? Yes, it is. So there we go. Just like that. The second wicket goes down and the batter is in disbelief. Not sure whether he has taken the catch cleanly or not. And that's not the first time that we've seen that. The batter not exactly sure.
It was a wonderful slog on the offside. I was expecting it to clear the field. But then that's why I believe the batsman is in disbelief.
Well, as a manager, you expect every shot to go out of the park, don't you?
Thank you for that. But knowing the nature of the player, he's such an explosive player and very strong on the offside.
But all in all, that was a good catch. A good judge. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Well, I have a happy manager here.
Okay, that made me really happy. So, I think we'll have to review the decision being given out. That was clearly dropped.
Well, that was very poor on the part of the fielder. You got to be honest.
But it was not an easy catch to begin with. But he put his effort in. But he thought, maybe he assumed he pulled it back. But clearly he did not. I think we'll have to review it again.
Yeah, we'll wait for the confirmation from the umpire. Obviously, the umpire's decision should be the last decision as well. There's quite a lot of discussions going around at the moment.
But you can say the bowling has been pretty decent. They've managed to keep these guys quiet. The opening pair and the guy who comes one down are explosive. But throughout the 6 overs that we've seen so far, with the rain interruptions, they've managed to bowl a good line and length, and they've managed to keep these guys quiet. They've given this odd boundary away, but then they've created a lot of chances. So that's, I believe, is a good thing on the part of the bowling side.
Yeah, indeed. Job well done for the bowlers so far. And yeah, I think we got the verdict. It's been given as not out. It's a 36 for 1 and Pramod there survive out there in the middle. Ashwin Nasir. Let's have a look at that again. He was slapped hard through the offside. He's a strong hitter of the ball. Look at this. He drops it. Oh, come on.
He made a good effort.
Well,
Didn't manage to keep it in.
Yeah.
So you can't blame him either. It was not an easy chance.
Right. So anyway, an eventful ball, that one. 36 for 1. And Pramod there. He's still out there in the middle. That's the important thing for the ASHTON Lions.
Indeed.
But as you correctly mentioned, the bowling has been quite good from the Blazing Champions. Knowing that they don't have much runs on the board, the bowling has been quite disciplined.
So if you recall, the first few overs of the Blazing Champions when they were batting, they were explosive. They were putting the ball all around the park. And you should also commend how well they've been fielding. So compared to how ASHTON Lions were fielding, there were a lot of mistakes, a lot of misfields when ASHTON Lions were bowling. So we have to give it to the Blazing Champions. Yeah, they managed to pull them back.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the bowlers have done a good job so far. And if they can... Oh, there we go. That's down the ground. Six it is.
Lovely hit on the offside. That's a slug. That's what this guy is famous for. He's strong on the offside. Very strong with his shots. It was a wonderful hit on the offside.
Yeah, whether it's offside, whether it's down the ground, doesn't matter for Pramod there. He would go after you if it's full and if it's there to be hit. And the good thing about his shots is whenever he commits to a shot, it just stays hit. Let's have a look at that again. Again, slightly full. There we go. Full extension of the arm. That means it's going out of the park for sure.
He's got power. He's got technique. So
I was told he is a gym instructor.
Absolutely. That brings the power in. So I think it's a blessing that we have this technology to find out, to really review the catchers and to make sure that it's a fair game.
Exactly. So that has to be the end of the over as well. 7 overs done, 46 for 1.
I'd like to take a moment to explain about how Pure TV came into the picture. So when Yusuf, who is the main organizer of this LSPL, so we went for this discussion with Mr. Vijita Bandara. Mr. Vijita Bandara, who is the deputy director at Pure Sports. So he himself is a level 2 cricket coach, and he's from St. Thomas's, the Gurtalava, and he has a wonderful knowledge about the game. He's really the way he reads the game, the way he kind of understood what we were trying to pitch, what we were trying to achieve through organizing this Premier League. That's a lovely shot on the leg side, goes away to the boundary. That's another 4 runs for ASHTON Lions.
And the 50 is up as well. In just 7.1 overs. Now all of a sudden that slow start has converted into a really good innings here. 50 for the loss of 1 wicket in 7.1 overs when chasing 146 is absolutely brilliant.
Did the rain play a part in the pitch? Did it?
Well, it's hard to say because it didn't really rain that much. It was just a slight drizzle. But obviously, the spinners might find it difficult to grip the ball properly. But I don't think it had made a lasting impact. But we'll see how the game would go on.
Even if it did,
yeah,
with the sun out, I'm sure it would have dried up. But usually when the outfield is wet, the ball usually glides through. It's up in there. There's a wonderful cut shot play. It's a boundary by
Pramodya. Who else? So 2 boundaries so far in this over, and the runs just keeps on coming. Now you were talking about the Pure Sports.
Things are heating up, and I'm getting excited. So going back to Mr. Vijita Bandara from Pure Sports, we would take a minute to actually explain what he did and how he wanted us to project this game. He gave us a lot of ideas, and That's another wonderful delivery, and then it's driven on the offside for a single.
You're being interrupted by your own players.
I am glad I am. I'm not going to complain about that. I'm not going to complain about that at all. So Mr. Vijita Bandara, he gave us a lot of ideas, a lot of fascinating ideas. So I could gauge Mr. Sasiri running in again. And that's a lovely sweep shot on the leg side. Goes through to the boundary for another ball. Arshan, this time it was Arshan.
Everything they touch, it turns to gold at this point of time. ASHTON Lions. Now all of a sudden, just 87 more runs required.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is. If you are the team manager of ASHTON Lions, it does look beautiful.
Give me a moment. I'll get back to talking about Mr. Vijita Bandara. When he had an immense knowledge of the game, he used to coach as well. That's a lovely delivery. A bit quicker off the pitch. Well, that's the end of the 8th over. ASHTON Lions are 60 runs for the loss of 1 wicket. So he also mentioned how we should bring in players. We should identify star players. How we should carry out certain segments of the program where we get the team to come and talk about their strategies, how they've selected players, and how well they're going to promote this league. Overall, the picture, so if you look at, I'd like to ask you a question, Ushadar. How many players from the current Sri Lankan national side do you think can clear the boundary through maximum with a 70-meter six? How many players do you think from the national setup?
Well, for many reasons, I can't really give you a direct answer for that, but then there's only a handful of players, I would say.
Okay, Ashwin back in for the 9th over. It's a nice cut shot. Lovely, beating the fielder on the offside, goes through for another boundary. Am I not happy? So if you look at the Sri Lankan national setup, there's a lot of bureaucracy to get into the national side, to try and go in there. So this is the same discussion, the line of thought that Mr. Vijitha and the LSPL organizing committee had when we were having the discussion. So we have enough and more players in the Sri Lankan local setup who can clear the boundary. This match will be an example. There were 5 or 6 maximum that was scored in the first innings, and even with this one, if you take Pramod, a guy like Pramod, they can clear the boundary easily, 65 meters. But why is he not pass a wonderful hit down the ground, slogged all the way for 6?
That just keeps on proving your point.
So yeah, thank God he did that. So the point that we are trying to drive home is there are enough and more players who can clear the boundary easily to hit a 65-meter 6. Okay, how many players are there in the Sri Lankan national setup who can exceed 140 kilometers when they're bowling? So then if you look at this tournament, we're actually trying to monitor the speed as well. If we can identify players who can bowl at 140, if we can identify players who can spin the ball either way, that's a good piece of bowling. So managed to keep Pramod quiet. He's in 45 of 26 deliveries. So being supported well by Arshan as well. Running in, Ashwin. Managed to bowl at the right spot to keep Pramod quiet for a little bit. I don't know for how long though. So, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, indeed, he's been all fire today. 45 of 27. Coming down the track, that's a slap. And that's a 6. And that's a half century for Pramod.
That's what we're talking about.
Yes, it is. There we go. Half century for Pramod in just 27 deliveries. And it's been a full-on entertaining innings from Pramod. He has absolutely hammered all the bowlers out of the park and showed no mercy whatsoever. And he's still going, still not done.
He's been given one role when he was taken in. Down the leg side, called a wide. Pramod was given one specific role. Just supposed to go there, be there till the end if you can, but smash it all over the park and prove my point again and again. So when we were talking to Mr. Vijita Bandara, he was talking about the same thing. If we can have a setup where we give opportunity to a lot of players who will not get an opportunity to play in a league like this, that is challenging. and that also gives like high quality videos that is being presented live on Pure TV for the whole of Sri Lanka to see as well. And then we are creating profiles of these players, and we're trying to show the Sri Lankan public, look, these guys, there are a lot of players, handful of players who can hit the ball out of the park. There are a handful of players who can bowl 140. But why are they not part of the cricketing setup? And why is Sri Lanka cricket still struggling? Overall, the objective of this whole exercise is, the vision overall is to make sure Sri Lanka cricket becomes alive again. Because Sri Lanka cricket, we have to admit it, like it or not, we are playing poor cricket. We're struggling with strong oppositions. But we have good talented cricketers among the pool. But why are they not part of the Sri Lankan cricket pool? This is the part, so this is the kind of vision that Mr. Vijay Bandara had when he said, let's do this. So then the ideas, so I thought I should take a moment to really explain what the kind of things that, the vision that he had, which I thought was amazing. I was appreciating what he was trying to say. So these boys I'll be more than happy if at least one of these boys can end up in the Sri Lankan national setup. And if they can perform, that's the ultimate idea in the end.
That's actually, has to be the vision of this LSPL, and it's quite impressive and it's quite refreshing as well to see the whole thought process, the whole idea of trying to bridge that gap between, in terms of whether it's the quality of cricket, whether it's the amount of cricket that is being played, and the talent of these players with the national team. And I think each and every year you made slight and very subtle improvements. You compared it with last year, and you get into this year, you got Pure Sports coming in, broadcasting it live. So those are the improvements that will, take one step forward every time. And that's what matters at the end of the day, giving a platform for these cricketers. Because most of these cricketers, these are not professional cricketers. So these are just passionate cricketers who have played, maybe during their school time, they have played cricket. Maybe they're playing Division 3 cricket. So giving that ideal platform for all these players to come in, to showcase their talent, to show it to the world with the, broadcasting live and the social media presence as well. It's just ideal. And for me personally as well, it's a pleasure to be, getting associated with this tournament as well.
Absolutely, Yoshida. So, Tarindu running in. Oh, that's a lovely delivery on the offside. He was lucky to get away, not getting hit over the boundary.
Let me tell you, Pramod there is just swinging it as hard as he can.
He's got the power.
Ah, yes.
Power and the ability put together.
That's a dangerous combo.
Tarindu was lucky to get away. To be left for that to be a dot ball. Should have been a lot more.
Yeah, 3 consecutive dot balls from Tarindu de Silva. That is rare. So if he can finish things off properly in this over. Worked away. Still a dot ball.
So then we should also give a shout out to the sponsors who actually stepped in. So overall, if you have a look at it, I think most of them have a vision for Sri Lanka cricket. All of us, I think growing up, we saw Sri Lanka perform so well. From 96 till Mahela and Sangha were playing on the T20 World Cup. We were in consecutive finals, whichever World Cup, semis or the finals. Tarindu running in once again.
Kono dropped. Oh, that's a big moment of this game for sure. Pramod there just played it straight into the hands of the fielder and he drops it. Let's have a look at that again. There we go. That's a big moment of this game. Arshan at the non-striker's end. That's played on the up down towards the long off region for a single, and that'll be the end of the over. That's a good over from Tarindu de Silva under the circumstances. Just a couple of runs coming off from it. 10 overs done, 84-1.
That was a big miss, but we're yet to find out if it's going to be that costly, depending on how well Pramod is going to play the rest of the innings. So I was talking about the other sponsors who actually came in. I think all of us overall, we have a clear vision for Sri Lanka cricket to become better. We have a lot of players who can perform at the biggest stage if they're given the opportunity and the training, because these guys they've displayed their skill. So if you look at Razin, the opening player who got out, he usually does this like a highlight video of his innings. In the last game, I think he scored a half century, if I'm not mistaken, and he's an explosive player as well. So he usually does like a highlight clip. Pradeep Roshan running in to start the 11th over. What's a wonderful slog, but it's going to be out, I guess. It's taken very comfortably.
Yes, it is. It's Arshan Joseph who has to depart. That was hit very high up in there. Pradeep Roshan picks up his second wicket. He was struck very high up in there, and it was he was not in a good position. The balance was not there. It was just going very high up in there, and the fielder takes it comfortably.
Takes it comfortably. I think Pradeep, one of their strike bowlers that they bring in to get that wicket.
So the second wicket goes down for 80. As Pradeep Roshan picks up his second wicket, and Arshan Joseph has to depart for 13 of 12 deliveries.
But if you look at the first 2 overs, he bowled a lovely spell. So if you look at, he's running in for his third over, considered just 13 runs. Mind you, Razin and Pramodia were batting when he was bowling, and they managed to keep them quiet. First over went for maiden or 1 run. He kept them quiet. Knowing the explosive nature of these two batsmen, I think this guy has done a wonderful job today.
Yeah, and nothing fancy from his end as well. He's just running in and bowling in those good areas. No fancy action. Not really trying to do anything fancy. Just conventional medium pace, gentle medium pace bowler. And on a pitch like this, it is slightly more towards the slower end. It's just ideal. Kind and ideal type of a bowler, Pradeep Roshan, and he's just proving us right all along, picking up 2 wickets for just 13 runs in 3.1 overs.
New batsman in for ASHTON Lions is the captain, Yasir. He's a big fan of Virat Kohli. Has the same jersey number. Tries to imitate his play. Very calm and collected player. Not explosive, more of a single end two with. He's a bit of a technical player. Doesn't like the slog that much. But he's the captain. He's done a reasonably good job so far. Pradeep running in once again to bowl to ASHTON's captain.
Reasonably well. That's typical manager's mindset, isn't it?
That would have been a run out. It was a close single to get Yasir out of the mark.
81 for 2 now. Chasing down 146. This is exactly what happened. Just a gentle push there. But in bit of 2 minds whether to go for that run or not.
That was a close call.
Yeah, indeed.
We would have had it if he came back like that. So overall, if you look at how this league is positioned, how it was formed. So the league owners, they themselves pay a charge for the whole setup. Okay, I'll get back to it once again. Pradeep Roshan running in once again to Pramodia. Oh, that's a good line and length that he's bowling, managing to keep this guy quiet. To keep an explosive player like Pramodia quiet, I think you should appreciate the nature of his bowling. Like you said before, he's not trying anything fancy. He's running in and doing everything right. And I don't think he has so much pace either, but he's managing to keep these guys really quiet.
A very gentle medium pace he's offering Pradeep Roshan.
So I believe ASHTON Lions have identified he's one of the main players as well. That's a slog and it's up in the air. Looks like Pramodia is going to be out.
Oh, what happened there? Well, Pramodia, let me tell you, is certainly riding so well on his luck. My goodness.
Currently running on his third life right now. And there was such a mix-up. By 3 people who could have easily called for it. I don't think they called for it.
Let's have a look at that. He went very high up in there. Oh, nobody calling for it. My
Anyone take
goodness.
responsibility, considering the pressure they were under to get this guy out.
Yeah. Cut away straight into the point field. Now, Pramod has to be careful now. 54 of 36. He already got, his third lifeline. Cannot afford to try out another chance here. Got to make sure that he's picking out the right ball. Because Pradeep Roshan at the moment is bowling well. He's bowling right around that... try to get that ball right around the chest level of the batter. That makes it difficult to get under the ball
He's doing a wonderful
properly.
job doing that.
Yeah.
But
Last
the
ball
question
of this.
But the question to ask, is it really necessary for Pramod there to slog right now? Ashton Lions need 65 runs out of 85 balls. Is it really necessary to slog at the moment? Is that the sensible thing to do?
Well, it depends because you see players like Pramod there. As far as what I've seen in this tournament, Pramod, slugging is his natural game. You know, just 65 runs required in 84 deliveries. Yes, you need to adapt to the conditions. They say that you need to, play the game smart. You got to understand what's the need, the requirement of the team, and adjust yourself accordingly. But some players, they just don't care, do they? They just go on and they hit their natural game. Whenever it's there to be hit, he tries to hit it. And sometimes some people say that it's a crime to try to change everything, but then it's a 50-50 thing, and it's up for the debate as well.
If we win, we keep quiet. If we lose,
that's the easiest thing.
he has a lot of explaining to do.
Gone, just like that.
He has a lot of explaining to do.
Well, certainly he has to answer to the manager as well, I guess. Pramod there. That's the slightest of the edges. Let's have a look at that again. This is Tarindu, who bowled well. Just given away only a couple of runs in his previous over. There we go. Just a slight deviation.
Was such a soft dismissal for such an explosive player.
Indeed.
He didn't have to reach out. Was it dropped? Was it dropped to begin with? Did the keeper drop it?
Well, he's been given out. And he's been asked to come back. There we go. He's been asked to come back.
On the fourth life.
All right. We'll
back
see.
in.
This is interesting.
Oh, what a game.
Now the fielding side is in disbelief.
So we've got the replays to prove anything we want.
So it'll be an interesting replay.
Okay, let's roll it up.
He's taking his time, our producer.
I think we all want Pramod back there. We want to see some of his sixes once again.
That's the manager in you talking.
That's me spicing it up, making it interesting. Anyway, back to the sponsor. I think now we'll get a break to talk about the sponsors.
Yes.
So take all the owners, the people who have bought the teams. They've spent money out of their pocket. They've made sure that the training grounds, they've made sure that they've provided enough facilities for all these young guys to come and practice, to get good at what they're doing. And then to put up such a wonderful show when it's time for their real game. So there are 9 teams who have come in. They could have gotten sponsors, or maybe they were paying out of their own pocket. But so then those are the team owners who came in. So we need to appreciate what they're trying to do. So some of the owners are not playing. And then some of them are not young either. But then they have the passion for the game. So what are they running after? They're not going to make money out of this. The whole objective is, I think overall, we all want Sri Lanka cricket to improve. But how are these guys going to end up in the Sri Lankan pool? How will these guys represent Sri Lanka in the end? There are some really young talent who are capable, who are able to have the ability to really whack the ball out. Back with the replays.
Yeah, this is what we've been waiting for. There we go. The deviation has been taken. There we go.
That was dropped. Pramod lives one more day. Maybe
4th lifeline. My
maybe to
goodness.
smash the ball out of the park for everyone to see. He's an entertainer. I think Bolson wants him to entertain some more as well. And I am really happy about it.
Yeah, the bowler is not really happy. Let me tell you. There we go. He had enough. This is interesting. 82 for 2 and Pramod gets another lifeline.
He has some explaining to do.
65 of 83. There's Tarandu de Silva. Disappointing. Same sort of a delivery, same kind of a delivery there.
There was some pace in that delivery and there was short.
Bit of anger as well, bit of passion coming in.
Nah, this is the beauty of the game.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of challenge, the duels that, two players would have. Tarindu expressing how he can have some pace and he can throw up that short ball to an explosive player like Pramodya. Must be in disbelief that he couldn't get him out. Tarindu bowling a lovely length right now.
Am I the only one feeling like Pramod is just trying to play it safe here?
I think he heard me.
4th lifeline and well, I don't know, that last shot from Pramod there, it feels like he's trying to play it safe. Maybe just to see through this over and forget about everything and start fresh
I guess
from the next over itself.
It's completely different style of play. Knowing him. There he is. Once again.
That's a good save down in the deep.
Saved a certain boundary, of course.
Yeah. I can see the body language of the bowler. He's completely down, let me tell you.
But I think this is the motivation that I think he is not letting it die down. He's motivating himself to bowl faster, to try and get this wicket somehow. So I think that's the beauty of the sport and the beauty of who Tarindu is in the end. He is a real sport who wants to get him out. But singles will do the trick for ASHTON Lions.
Straight into the hands of the fielder once again. Mohammad Yazir need to understand what's on stake here. It's just 64 more runs required. And they have all the time in the world as well. They can take their time. Because these last couple of overs have been very eventful. Last ball of this over coming up. Just a single so far. And Tarandu de Silva has been quite impressive.
It's actually a very, very good over. Whoa, that's a lovely delivery. Was that a fumble? Was that a fumble once again? Was there an edge?
I don't think there was an edge there.
Reaction of the bowler? He seemed to be a bit annoyed.
12 overs done. 83 for 2. 64 more runs required. There we go. That's a replay. Yeah, I don't think there was an edge.
It was such a good delivery. He cramped Yasir up for space. Had he been in the middle, that would have been a certain wicket. Why do I get the feeling ASHTON right now is feeling the heat? I think the bowlers are stepping it up a level. You can tell that they're trying to slow down. You can see clear signs of ASHTON trying to slow down. The intent has changed. That should do. They can work. They can win this match just by scoring their singles and without losing wickets. The odd boundary is going to come in anyway. So you see through the tough bowlers. I think Pradeep Roshan is bowling the last allocated over for him, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Only one bowler can bowl 5 overs, so it will be Pradeep Roshan, deservingly so.
I think the most economical over there.
Yeah.
He's managed to... Oh, actually, Tarindu has bowled 2 overs for 3 runs. He's been more economical than Pradeep Roshan. I think these two guys... So the economy of Pradeep Roshan is 3.6. And Tarindu de Silva has bowled 2 overs for just 3 runs. The economy rate of 150.
Yep.
So these guys have managed to bring ASHTON Lions back so much. I think there's been a lot of leakage on the other side That was a full length.
That's a good shot.
That's a good shot on the offside.
Yes, that'll break the shackles for him and for the Ashton Lions. It was, again, that change of length there from Pradeep didn't really work out. It was too full outside the off stump, slightly outside the off stump. But the good thing about that shot is he knew exactly where the fielder was positioned and was careful enough to play it away from him as much as possible.
That length is bread and butter for
Yeah.
Pramod. But I think Roshan kind of missed his length because so far he's bowled really well. I think that's one odd ball that goes away like that.
Gone!
Yes.
There we go!
That's how Pramod had to go.
Ah,
Missing the catches, missing the edges. He had to go, and Roshan had to be the person who get him out. Wonderful delivery. I don't think Pramod would be upset about getting out for a delivery like that. It was a wonderful delivery. I think Pramod has done his part. The rest of the Ashton Lions team doesn't have to panic. They can just do their singles, pace their innings very slowly, making it to the finish line. Let's wait and see. Still a long way to go.
Yeah, indeed. It was you miss I hit strategy from the bowler Pradeep as he picked up yet another wicket. Right, so 87 for 3 and the umpires have called in for drinks. Right, so we're back after the drinks break. 87 for 3. Farzan is the new batter in, chasing down a total of 147. Tarandu De Silva back into the bowling. Not going to be easy, this one. Tarandu De Silva and the rest of the Blazing Champions bowlers have done a good job in terms of pulling things back. The only problem they have at the moment is a lack of runs on the board. If they had anything around 180 to 190, they would have made a real good game out of this, because as of now, even though they only need 57 runs in 69 deliveries, ASHTON Lions have been following this game. I'm sure you would agree with me that the momentum is not there with the ASHTON Lions. It's with the Blazing Champions. But mistakes like that will make it touch too easy for the ASHTON Lions. They cannot afford to do those mistakes because they don't have runs on the board. Right, so 94 for 3. This is turning out to be a good game of cricket. 53 runs required of 65. It's all happening. Ashan Rukma to bowl the 15th over. Oh, a big inside edge. They just need to take things slowly and steadily here. Because the pressure is certainly on ASHTON Lions, let me tell you. Because on paper, I might say that just 52 runs required of 64. And only 3 wickets down. But if you've been following this game, you would understand that at the moment, the momentum is with the Blazing Champions. The pressure, on the other hand, is with the ASHTON Lions. So that's the situation that we're dealing with right now. Mistakes, see, just like that, should have been prevented. That's exactly what Blazing Champions would need to be careful of. Not to give away any single extra run. They cannot afford to do that. Because their batters didn't really do justice with the bat in hand. Straight into the hands of the fielder. Runs are not coming in. Tossed up. This is up in there. A chance, and it's taken. Just like that. The pressure was on. They desperately needed runs, and that is what you get when you put the pressure on with dot deliveries, one after another. And Ashan Rukmal gets the breakthrough, and it's 4 down, and ASHTON Lions are in trouble here. There we go. Tossed up nicely. A big leading edge and a good catch from the fielder. Everything working out perfectly for the Blazing Champions. And they're bowling like real champions at the moment. And it's the captain who has to depart. It's been a disappointing outing for the captain. He's gone for 3 of just 12 deliveries. And Ashan Rukmal amongst the wickets now. And ASHTON Lions are 96 for 4. Right. It's 97 for 4 now. Shamsul Munir. Gone, is it? Yes, there we go. That's Farzan who has to depart, and Shamsul Munir gets a breakthrough. It's all happening out there in the middle. It's 5 down now for just 98 runs, and the Blazing Champions are truly championing at the moment, and they are really putting up a good fight here. Gimhan is the new man in, or rather Akram Nizar is the new man in, and Gimhan at the other end. This is all happening out there in the middle. Played it nicely this time. Right, so 101 for the loss of 5 wickets now. And the ASHTON Lions, they need 46 runs from 54 deliveries. This is good. Every dot ball matters. Every dot ball counts. This is top class bowling. We're very much enjoying this from ASHTON, or rather the blazing champions. This is not an easy track to back on. Well, it was easy in the morning and maybe in the first session, in the first 10 to 12 overs. But it has significantly made it favourable for the bowlers. And at the moment, the bowlers are taking the full advantage of it. And that's the end of the over as well. 17 overs done, 102 for 5. One on 3 for 5. That's very close to the wide line, but the umpire is satisfied with that. Nicely bowled once again, Danushka. So far, except for those couple of wides, he has done a good job. Just need to finish things off properly here, not to give anything away at this stage. Oh, this time he goes down the ground. And he gets a boundary. A much needed boundary for the ASHTON Lions. And Gimhan finally makes a good enough contact that goes all the way for a boundary. And now, just 36 more runs required. That's another boundary. This is turning out to be a good over. Ashan Rukmal just giving it away at the moment. Right, so 9 runs coming off from that over. 19 overs done, 116 for 5. Right, so 19 overs done, 116 for 5. That'll be just a single. And again, towards the same exact region, but you got the protection down in the deep, will be just a single. Akram Riza doing the right thing, getting those 1s and 2s quite well. Hasindu, that should be a wide, but he'll get a single anyway. Not a wide though, got the contact of the gloves. Neatly done. There we go. At least a couple on offer. Cut to run the first round hard. Yeah, there we go. That's good. Well, look at this over. Effortlessly, the two batters have scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 runs. Surpassing the asking rate. That's in the gap. At least a couple on offer. In fact, it might go all the way for a boundary. Yes, it does. That's superb placement. That's exquisite placement and timing from Akram Nizar. And he gets a boundary to finish things off. That's 10 runs coming off from that over. 20 overs completed. It's 126 for the loss of 5 wickets. Look at that. I know what's running in the minds of the Blazing Champions players. If they had a score of around 170, 180 on the board, they would have given a real fight here. They've already given a fight, but the chances, the stakes would be pretty high on them. Faster delivery. Ah, poor fielding once again. Quick single. This is good. Punch down the ground, might go all the way for a boundary. Yes, it does. Now just 15 runs away from victory, Ashton Lions. Just 15 runs away from recording back-to-back victories. And that's the end of the over. 21 overs done, 133 for 5. 133 for 5. Jessley Richards, the captain, have finally opted to take the ball to himself. They're playing it safe. Akram Nizar is playing in an absolute blinder of an innings here. Might not be filled with boundaries. It might not be filled with 4s and 6s. But let me tell you, this is real top class innings that Akram Nizar is playing. A guts innings from him. He has scored those boundaries whenever the requirement is there. Other than that, he's been very solid, calm and composed, and showing real maturity. I'll get a single there. And that has to be the end of the over as well. Yeah, 22 overs done, 136 for 5. That's a good shot. And that's gone all the way for a boundary. And cut away nicely. By this time it's Gimhan. Rocked back and played it nicely. This time down towards the mid wicket. Powerful strike towards the offside, will be just a single. Now just 10 more runs required. In fact, this is Shamsul Munir. Runs required now. That's a fast. Shamsul Munir is bowling it fast, and that's the end of the over as well. 23 overs done. It's a 145 for 5. And looks like the ASHTON Lions are being forced to take the power play, the last 2 overs. Right, so just a couple of runs required. In fact, just 1 run required now. Straight into the bowler's hand. There you go. That's played down the ground. In fact, we need one more run. Right, so the scores are level now. A quick single. No, not to be. Oh, a mix-up. That'll be the game. It's a victory. It's a hard-fought victory for the ASHTON Lions. It was not a walk in the park by any means. They had to fight for it. They were pushed to the limits. They were pushed against the wall. But they overcame everything to record a stunning victory here. And what a fitting way to wrap things up. Brilliantly executed. And a good win for the ASHTON Lions. This is one of those matches where they were tested in every aspect. Well, not much with the ball in hand, as they restricted the opposition, blazing champions, for just 146 runs. But with the bat in hand, my goodness, they were tested. They were tested quite well. But at the end of the day, ASHTON Lions winning the match by 5 wickets. A wonderful game of cricket. A thrilling one, to be honest. A good game where we saw quite a lot of good performances with the bat and the ball as well. Both the teams can be mighty proud of how things turned out. Right, so let's have a look at the scorecard. Pramod Kasun 59 or 43 was a standout performer. He set the platform quite nicely, but it's just those two innings at the back end of the innings. Gimhan Theekshana 26 off 29 and Akram Nizar 26 off 23. Two very valuable innings from those two batters, and as a result they made it to 150 for the loss of 5 wickets in 23.4 overs. Looking into the bowling performances, 3 wickets for Pradeep Roshan. He delivered well with the ball in hand. 5 overs, 3 wickets for 21. And then 1 wicket apiece for Shamsul Munir and Ashan Rukmal as well. It was a good bowling display, especially in the middle overs. They really kept things tight. But not having enough runs on the board really didn't help the cause for the bowlers, as well as they ended up giving the total required in just 23.4 overs. Right, so let's have a look at the highlights of this run chase for the ASHTON Lions. It was a good game of cricket for sure between the blazing champions and the ASHTON Lions. Some good performance. It was Pramod Kasun who absolutely hammered the bowlers all over the park and really made sure that they're getting a good start. It was a calm and a quiet power play. But soon after that power play ended, Pramod Kasun shifted gears just like that. And he just hammered the bowlers all over the park, especially against the spinners. He was ruthless. And let me tell you, he was given a few lines as well. This was one of them. The wicketkeeper dropping the ball. And then and he just really made sure that he's getting those runs quickly as well. And he got the full use and he reached that half century. And then Yazir, the captain, couldn't really get going at his best, but the wickets started to tumble. Now this was the period where the ASHTON Lions really felt that pressure. The wickets started to tumble and nothing really worked in their favour. And then it was those last two batters, Akram and Gimhan, really made sure that they would chase things down with number of overs to spare. It was a good game of cricket. It was a game of cricket where Ashton Lions were pushed to the wall, and it was a game where Blazing Champions made us believe that they have that champions trait with them, and I'm sure they'll be looking forward to the next game as well. So this is the match summary. The Blazing Champions 146 all out in 22.5 overs, and Ashton Lions in reply 150 for the loss of 5 wickets in 23.4 overs. So Ashton Lions winning the match by 5 wickets, and they win their second game as well quite comprehensively. Right, so that's the end of our broadcast right here from the Thurston College grounds. Hope you enjoyed it. We thoroughly enjoyed both the matches. Two very contradicting matches, as well as the first one we saw in excess of 400 runs, and this one it was a low scoring thriller, and we enjoyed both of them quite well, and I'm sure you enjoyed it at the comfort of your home as well. Right, so we hope to see each and every one of you next weekend as well. And until we meet again, it's goodbye and good night from Thurston College grounds.